So, hello and welcome back. We are here playing Victoria 3 as Poland, Lithuania. We have reloaded kind of a bit of an old save. France is doing well. We're doing pretty well. Britain's doing well. There's a lot to kind of ease ourselves back into this run a little bit. We are overlords of kind of this block here. France has gone commie. Britain's having a liberal revolt. Things are a little upended. We don't have a construction queue. And last we played this, I believe it was on 1.2.2. And now we're on 1.2.7. So we might have some compatibility and buggy issues. And so I guess this raises kind of the question, why even play on this run? And the main reason is we, on this run, actually have Council Republic. And I think that Council Republic in a vacuum is good, but it's, like, bad because of the Diplo reasons, and so, like, okay, at a certain point this transition's good. But I wanted to experiment and try out Command Economy a little bit, and of all the runs I have, this is the one that can most easily switch over to Command Economy. Unfortunately, we only have the rural folk right now supporting it, and it is because of their ideology. So if we take a look, the rural folk are vanguardists. So we have to hope that, you know, our trade unionists might die for a vanguardist. Red Army guy might die for a vanguardist because right now he's a communist, and maybe we can squeeze into Command Economy just to try it out. I'm pretty sure it's bad, so I'm not expecting this to be good in that sense, but I thought it'd be a little bit fun to kind of go for this. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to get rid of our 2 consumption taxes. We're going to get rid of one of them. We're going to up this, and then we are going to bolster, if we can, the rural folk. We cannot because we are on full... We are on protected speech, so we can't even do that. Rip the dream. So we are just going to put in another consumption tax. I think we'll tax luxury furniture. And we could put in another and then decrease this. And then float a little bit of a IG approval mouse. Maybe we'll do that here. And so we're making a decent amount of money. We'll just take a little unpause, let things tick a couple times, and see what happens. Oh, so it looks like we do not have any automated construction here, so we're going to have to be doing it all ourselves, which is fine. So let's open up the industry tab, and we're just going to... We're coming back to this run, so I really don't have a keen hold on what exactly is best, but we're just trying to look for things that are profitable, and we'll put them in. Is there a way to turn on the automated queue? Because I would like to play with the automated queue at this point. Doesn't look like it. I think if we switch country and then switch back, we can do it. Yeah, if we switch country, go into game rules, and switch to autonomous. We go to game rules. Can we... Oh, can we just apply autonomous? And then now we have... Okay, and so it'll put in, hopefully, a bunch of stuff. We don't actually have an enormous investment pool contribution or investment pool transfer as a consequence of being on Council Republic, but we also have cooperative ownership, so we get control of most of the queue. And so I guess we will also just come in. What resources can we even exploit? There's still some left in the world. Wild. I guess we weren't popping off too hard. So we're just going to come in through here, and we're just going to look. Anything that's making enormous earnings, we're going to kind of go after. We are encouraging manufacturing in 3 places, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, so we'll just kind of try and build stuff up here in the 3 places, and then let them auto-expand as well. So that's why we're putting in some synthetics plants here. We're just going to 51 it and put it on auto-expand. Ooh, curiously we're using Rayon, which is normally not a very efficient PM, so that must mean we are really having trouble accessing silk, which makes sense because we can't really trade with anyone, or people don't like to trade with us as in our current state. And by our current state, I mean we are Council Republic, so this is... Polish-Lithuania, I'm sure, is being integrated, but we'll take a closer look because we might not have chosen to integrate stuff. It looks like there's quite a few stuff that's going to be profitable, so we'll just kind of put some stuff down. We'll give that a few notches, 41, 51, something like this. Just kind of get the ball rolling in a lot of these places. We have not had the automated queue, so it's actually quite nice how we have these nice and clean, like, delineations or like we only have the industry in incorporated territory. This is, I believe, like optimal. And so if you wanted to do manual construction, this is kind of what things would look like. I guess we'll try and get Ponson towards the 51. You'll notice a ton of these are level 51. That means this because we're trying to get economies of scale throughput bonus. And that should be enough to keep us going for a little bit. Let's kind of look at our incorporations here, if we have any available. And we will incorporate Brest. And then we will play the little bit of whack-a-mole. Now I'm hoping the auto queue kind of handles a lot of these, but we will handle some of them. Okay, we do have a ton of stuff assigned. We are not part of this play. Italy has, or, okay, well, whatever. We will put that rebellion down, and then we will, I don't think we can, ooh, we can establish a colony, or there's only one colony left. Okay, we can establish a colony there. Oh, just a couple little smattering of spots. We got cut off by Great Britain in this run. And it looks like we're losing a little money, need a little bit more bureaucracy. Well, let's cover into the government administrations and start increasing some of them in Lesser Poland and Lithuania and Mazovia. I guess in theory we should look for if we have insufficient tax capacity, but I don't think we're going to. We have unused construction. Seems like a bug. Very high SOL, which is one of the features of running Council Republic. And we did manage to go back to autocracy, which of course is not very well supported, but you do need this in order to go command economy. Or I think oligarchy can also. Let's see. We need oligarchy or autocracy, and so that we have already come back is kind of a big deal. We just need to wait for a vanguardist, really. France or Great Britain's having a hard time there. Do think we probably want more construction. We are making quite a bit of money. The investment pool is only building 3 buildings, so it's a bit of a sad investment pool. It's only getting contributions from, you know, what is this? Is only getting contributions, or let's look in the ownership system and talk about it, actually. There's only contributions from, if we look at workers' co-op, it's only contributions from the shopkeepers. I believe it is supposed to be shopkeepers and farmers. Maybe it's just farmers and shopkeepers in the arable land specifically. If we take a look over here, I believe, yeah, so this is just more farmers. They don't contribute too much to the investment pool, and so that's why the investment pool is kind of voided, but we're still making a lot of money because we're dividends taxing these people, and so it's not like it's bad, it's just quite a lot different, you know, the high, really high SOL, although it's coming down a little bit. We are going to want to put in mines of various kinds. In the queue as well, and I think we could use quite a lot more construction. Look at this, we're making so much money now. Despite having basically no investment pool, which is, you know, the point of Council Republic. Or to some extent it's the point. So... And, ooh, let's see. Now, before in this run, we used to not be able to subsidize the railways, and now you can subsidize the railways on Council Republic. And this was one of the most painful features of Council Republic, is you couldn't subsidize the railroads, so you couldn't, let's turn off autonomous expansion on those as well. Not being able to subsidize the railroads was just absolutely brutal, and now you can sub them, so this is good. It was particularly, okay. Yeah. It was very, very uncomfortable. Because we used to not be able to fix infrastructure problems in places, you know? And now we can fix them. Like, this place had a huge infrastructure problem. And you used to just have to rely on the profitability. Of course, we will eat more subsidies, but look, we're barely paying anything for subsidies here. And this, one of the reasons for this is the ownership the ownership is much more efficient in the railways, just generally speaking. And since the SOL is really high for POPs, even our lower rung POPs ought to be consuming a little bit of transportation. Look at this, 5% of their income is on transportation, 5% here. And where's transportation for the Richie Richers? I guess it's just 2% here, or 6.5%, but for whatever reason it's not up here. Or wait, what is this about? Oh, the Richie Riches are, yeah, they're becoming destitute. I forgot about this. The entire upper strata class is getting eliminated, and so they are just getting absolutely wrecked. So these are the two we look at. And we'll see that, you know, they're consuming mostly services, and then porcelain, and then tea. So I think we have an obsession with tea somewhere. We see some auto-queue construction going. This actually should be a fairly good signal for what's going to be efficient, and it's also going to start expanding stuff in different spots. It's very nice that we can subsidize anything now. Did not used to be able to subsidize when we last played. We did not be able to subsidize under this this law, which was incredibly uncomfortable, specifically on the railways. But now we can subsidize anything, and so this is good. Colonial affairs, we have been consistently decreasing. There's no place to really colonize, or there's just one place, and we're about to do it, or finish it. I think we want to stay on free trade, but we can switch to isolationism at some point, and this will be good. We do want to stay on private schools and private health insurance. We have really high SOL, so this is going to be good. I think we do want to get Messina. We'd have to do it over France's dead body. I mean, we can expand here. I'm pretty sure we have, like, no... Oh. Oh, we already have max infamy, so we can just go full bad boy. Okay. Who's the biggest guy we can take stuff off of? I did not realize we had already forsaken the rest of the world. Might want to transfer state from the British Raj. I'm not sure we will be able to land, though. Considering our lack of a navy, so I guess... Well, first of all, we'll just come in here and we'll do this. Is this even in the same strategic region? Yeah, it's... No, it's not in the Poland region, but we are mostly in the Poland region, so we'll do this. So landing's gonna be tough. We can just conquer states from Russia. There's a bunch of really good states we can pick up here. We have a really strong military. And so maybe we just start doing that. So Kharkov into Samara, I think, has a lot of oil, if I'm not mistaken. So Kharkov into there into, is this Perm, right? It's going to be pretty good here. Considering we're full infamous anyways, we could also just like puppet these guys and push in like that. I think we just want to take some states off of here. Let's take a look. Let's declare some interests. Yeah, I think it undeclared. Wow, we really don't have a lot of interests we can declare. This is rip the dream, I guess. Can we puppet these guys? I don't think we can. We can take all their coastal provinces, though, and this ought to really wreck them. We can take Elbe and Hanover, which are decent, and then we will be in good shape. We could also annex some of these guys, right? Just kidding. We cannot. We can't land the UK, otherwise I would transfer the British Raj. Or I'm very confident we won't be able to. We could go after Circassia. Just take Kuban here, and if Russia sides, we do some stuff, start cleaning up the map a little bit, I suppose. I really have no plan for like where to expand here. I guess we'll just go for Russian territory, so we'll go after Sartov. Oh, we gotta wait for our declared interest to... Oh, we can't declare interior here, so we can't in Siberia. So I guess we'll just go Kazan, Galish, and cut off Border Gorm pretty bad. Cut off the capital from a contiguous land route, I suppose. Alright, we get an interest, so we're gonna go after Sartov. Kazan. And I don't think we can go after Perm, because we don't have an interest in the region. But then we will be able to put an interest in the region. So we'll go after Kazan. We'll make it primary. I think we want to transfer some of these guys, maybe? No, doesn't look like we can. Well, we know we won't be adjacent. We can go after Galish as well. It's not that good, but it would allow us to border gore them here by taking this province as well. And we're just taking provinces here anyways. I guess we could go towards Central Asia. We just take Uralisk, which I think has a decent amount of oil as well, because it's in this region, so we will go after that if we have an interest. So why can't we... I just don't have eyes, yeah? Is this one state? Or this is, yeah. We'll just annex these guys entirely. And we'll just add a bunch of these and kind of expect maybe he backs down, maybe he doesn't. Not too concerned one way or the other. I guess we'll go after Latvia, because it makes sense with the borders. Sakhalin. Yeah, that'd be okay. We'll mobilize everyone. We will put guys on fronts. We'll unpause here. We can just keep going. And we will put the primary strategic objective as their capital. Great Britain sides. I guess we should have maybe left some maneuvers, but I don't think we're going to be able to enforce on Great Britain or land them very easily. But what we will do is we'll take a look if we have a defensive planner. No, we do not. Do we have anybody sitting around? We do have someone sitting around in the HQ. No defensive planner here. I guess we'll just take the Explorer. The Explorer. And we'll mobilize him, and we will just leave him at home to help stave off against an invasion. And this guy will also patrol the coast in here, up in this bit, just. And we will continue on. Now they're worried, so they might back down. They have a lot more to lose if they don't. And if we just take these 3 states and a back down, this is okay with us. For now, we will look to increase construction as well. We're going to do it in the 3 places we're encouraging manufacturing. We do have to fill out the queue. This is perhaps another reason to not want to go what we've done. In terms of needing to middle, or another reason to not go Council Republic is you're not going to get as much auto queue. Definitely gonna need some, just gonna put a smattering of these here, and then, Eastern Angola is gonna need some. I assume. And maybe we actually just land their cap here with someone small, like Lech. They've rivaled us, that's quite alright. Should be able to enforce pretty comfortably. Yeah, we have, at the time we played this run, the AI was not as good at building a really large economy, and you see, none of them are that great, although there was kind of a world economy collapse that happened as a result of us going Council Republic. Everyone embargoed us, and then their economies kind of collapsed because they were really reliant on us. If we take a look at SOL, man, we're just wrecking most people, and the ones we're not wrecking are, we have all these 3 oil states, I think. They have a lot of oil. Yeah, this is a cursed timeline where everyone's poor. We'll fill out economies of scale there, and we'll look to, I was in Posid. Now, I don't know this region all that well. So let's see what we can do. And of course, we will get a ton of mass migrations because of our very high SOL. There's movement to enact public schools. We don't want that. We get a landing off. We are quite a lot stronger than the next guys. Maybe we could go isolationist. Everyone's headed towards the capital here. Russia will probably get enforced on in pretty short order. So let's turn our attention back to trying to get this. Now, we won't radicalize anyone by trying to go. Why can we even do it? I don't understand why we're even allowed to go for it. Because the people who support it are marginalized. Let's see what the percent chance. It's got a 5% success chance. Just base. We can just try and go it. Because we have someone with the... That's... I don't know if that's a bug or what. Interesting. Now, we see that these guys are having a little bit of trouble on this front. So we will move people from this side here over to here. Should be a quick movement. Just trying to maintain our grip on their capital here. We've expanded construction like 800 points here, and we're still doing okay with the money. I don't think it's the case that we necessarily want to deficit spend as much, but I suppose we could. We also don't really need to, like, jack up the economy. You know, at this point where we're at, where we're comfortably ahead of everyone else and in you know, cleanup mode, kind of. Let's look where we have the most labor available and see where is incorporated. So we have a ton of labor available in Brest, so we'll come in here and we'll add that. And then we also have a lot in Volhynia, or however this is pronounced. So we'll 51 there. We'll put this on auto expand. These are the newly kind of acquired states, and I guess we'll probably also do the same with tools. Tools is generally not terrible, although these tools do not make a lot of money. So we are adding 100. So we can add power plants in both those places. The power plants are relatively profitable, so let's do that. So many mass migrations. Again, really high SOL. This is the benefit of Council Republic. It allows you to really suck off a lot of pops from other people. We will also add, I mean, tools is probably never bad, right? We'll auto expand that, and then we will do the tools over here. And now, after all that, we are probably going to need a lot of rails. So we'll do some of that. And now we have a pretty fleshed out queue. We, of course, stopped paying attention and are now getting wrecked on a couple fronts. So we'll try and fix all that. We are keeping one guy behind. That is to stave off a landing a little bit. Or make it so that the UK would have to land with multiple guys to try and get something going. Hoping that this 19 stack kind of finishes soon. What we could always do is we could just expand the military, actually. So let's do some of that. Let's see what HQ these guys are in. They're still all in Poland. So we will come in and we will Public address goes awry. That's unfortunate. So we're gonna get minus enactment chance no matter what. We'll just take a negative. Take the L. Come off of it. I'm gonna kind of enforce on them soon, but man, oh man, is this a mess. All these split fronts. We'll come bring some a little bit here. Let's take a look. Researching analytic philosophy. A little late to the party. Don't think we really need that as a tech. I think we'd rather get flash freezing, to be honest. UK is out. Good. Literacy is high, but not going up. I mean, we don't need unis at all. We have a ton of education access as well, because it's wealth-based. Yeah, let's take another look at how many barracks we're adding. So this will be 30, this will be 20, so we'll make it up to 30. Something like this. Really, we just need more naval bases to pop off. I think we'll keep however our ports are. Not sure what our heuristic was, but don't want to mess with them too much. We also don't notably need very many convoys, I don't think. Ah, well, we're using a decent amount of trade routes. Maybe we'll swap these up. Now, let's see. Some of these are... We'll just swap some to industrial ports from anchorages. I see that we have a couple modern ports. Why don't we just keep those as they are for now, with the idea that we maybe want to keep in mind for swapping those off of modern port. Now, we're not going to decay below 0 because they're not going to get any of that. Oil is the future. And we'll finish expanding all the coal. Yeah, I am not liking the fact that our auto queue is very poor with Council Republic, and so we are going to have to do a lot of this ourselves. Will you take enforcement, my guy? My friend? You will! You will take a full enforcement. Well, why didn't you say so? Border Gord. Notably, we get a nice little extension here. We get plenty of natural resources. We have a couple things in the queue, and notably, the most notable is the oil that we're getting, so we'll try and expand that. We'll add a couple rails here at the front of the queue. And then we can continue on our merry way, just praying for a vanguardist, because we are trying to go command economy. We could also go isolationist for the memes, I guess. Ooh, Germany's not doing too hot. Who's the biggest guy we can puppet? Now, we can no longer puppet major powers. So these guys are off the table, right? Or unrecognized major powers, can we? No. We kind of would want to integrate Prussia. Okay, let's just annex Prussia here. Now, they are unlikely to back down, which was not the case in terms of this old AI. But we will just, you know, put guys on fronts. I think we'll just assign all the 76 type guys and just leave the other ones at home. Kind of whatever. Should make relatively short work of Prussia if nobody joins in, which is kind of what I am anticipating. Man, we're making a good amount of money. Our economy is not enormous. It's only $500 million. It is cranking up quite a bit. The United States sides with Prussia. Okay, so let's... Oop, don't want to improve relations. I do want to declare interests if we can in the United States. As much as we can in the US. And I'm probably going to go after US states. We are going to need to recruit admirals and stuff. This guy's got shell shock. Let's give him a job. Now, this guy will need some promotions, because eventually we will have a larger navy. But we'll try and just double land the US, and we will mobilize our guys who have expert offensive planner, I suppose. Or just that one guy. And with the rest, we will try and land the United States. I guess we will just go for some states. Alright, we do get our interest activated, so we can liberate a few countries and go for states. I think maybe we liberate New Africa, which is, I think, one of the bigger ones. And then we go conquer state on New York. It's very unlikely they back down, so we can just put in a bunch of conquer states. And let's also conquer Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania is also good. And I guess we can go Ohio into... Illinois is still far away, so we could go Pennsylvania, Virginia. Virginia, it's not contiguous, so we could go Pennsylvania, West Virginia, Virginia. This seems fine. Pennsylvania, just looking to not accidentally cut ourselves off of anything. Oop, maybe we shouldn't have done... Yeah, we should not have done Virginia first. We can see if we can get Maryland here. Utah, Arizona, those aren't going to do anything. Connecticut would be kind of okay. I guess we could just go for war reparations as well. Oh, Belgium is in here. Belgium's in the mix? What? Chicka what? What? Can we go for Flanders? Probably not. Yeah. Let's just go for American war reps. I suppose we could have waited a little while to see what we could have done. Why can we sway people? That's weird. I'm pretty sure everyone hates our guts. We might have we must have obligations on some of these guys. Yeah, let's give it some crop relief. We're making a good amount of money anyways. We will look to land these guys, so we will need a little bit... Maybe we... If our convoy... If we start getting a larger convoy surplus, maybe we will swap off of industrial ports. It's becoming less and less relevant, because I'm pretty sure our trade routes are not that many. I guess we can still run a couple. Wild. I guess we'll import our luxury resources. Yeah, because we have built, like, no ports, right? And we're just gonna get embargoed immediately by some of these guys. France is notably also commie, so maybe they won't embargo us. It's a little faster to go up and down, but... Alright, we'll try double landing the capital here. We're going to use 270 stacks. I think this should be sufficient. We got a little bit of guys held back, and we will continue to see if we can maybe get some trade routes going for some stuff. I think people, once we get large volumes of trade, though, will just continue to embargo us. And the mass migrations never end. What a wonderful place to live. Now, I think we can swap over PMs on the flash freezing. Oop, also... we do want to delete a lot of stuff. Or a lot of these newly acquired... territories. Kind of just keep our home ones. Doesn't really matter too much what we research. I guess we'll go dough rollers. And we'll just unpause and take care of this while we're unpaused. Should be fine. And we also get refrigerated cars. I think we'll switch to diesel pump. If we run an oil shortage, we actually should have a decent amount of oil. Oh, it's so nice not having to swap the ownership PM, though. Hard endorsement for Council Republic on the back of that. You are on steam trawlers, just double checking. Why does it say we can swap? I guess it doesn't. We will switch all to telephone switchboards. I think we have telephones by now everywhere. We'll swap all that to Philmart. We will swap all these up all the way. I'm pretty sure we can afford to do that. We will generally use labor-saving PMs, because man oh man is labor expensive with our super high SOL. We're not going to swap that. I think we'll go all on electric engines. We will keep whatever motor industry split we got. Don't want to go assembly lines. Did I switch to assembly lines? I did. Let's not do that. Let's go open. Alright, and let's try and get a little bit of an update on the war. It looks like we're maybe getting in. Yeah, we're getting in here. The good old double landing. Too many guys get committed on one front, and then you can easily hit the other one. And then we will have two guys over there. Are we getting pushed into? No, we're pushing into them. Had a brief moment of panic there. We'll come back into here and continue to take a look. We will vacuum canning. Houseware plastics is a strong one. We'll go rotary valve. Rotary valve. Brine electrolysis. And we'll leave that split however it is, because it's probably reasonable. Did someone die? I have a sneaking suspicion a general died here. In which case we... Nope, it doesn't look like it. France has embargoed us. One of our biggest people we could trade with. We will expand the barracks. We are starting to feel increasingly isolated, so we'll expand the barracks a little bit. And we will try and take a look if we can get some more businesses auto-expanding. Specifically, the textile mills were kind of profitable. They're not now. Tools is good. This is kind of good. We're gonna keep up with doing it in the 3 places. Looks like power is relatively good, so let's look where we have a ton of labor. Kazan, but also Ponsen. So we'll come in here, and we'll also come in and put this on auto expand. Man, I haven't felt like I had to do this as much micromanagement of the queue in quite a long time, so this is a downside of Council Republic. Although it's looking like these are starting to take off. Maybe, you know what? Now it's getting into a decent size, this investment pool transfer. I mean, it's not a majority of what we're doing, but it's substantive to some degree. This guy's leading nobody from the Poland HQ. That's wild. He's popular commander. What happens if we promote him? Oh, this guy. What happens if we promote him? Weird. I guess it's just a bug? Strange bug. Let's try and go back onto... Ooh, who is it that supports this? The Red Army boyo. So we'll put the Red Army boyo, because he's now a vanguardist, so we'll make sure to put him in government. It's not as legitimate, but... he will allow us to go command economy. Now, my understanding, I suppose I should talk about why I think command economy is bad. My understanding is, so there's this investment pool modifier. It's modified by based on your GDP. My understanding, or my guess, is it's the same modifier for all of the buildings under command economy, which is going to make command economy so no buildings are extremely profitable, and it just eats all the profit of the building, like down 80%. All right, we annex Prussia. We don't need anyone being happy with us. Now that we've annexed Prussia, we will do a couple things here. So first of all, state actions. Incorporate state. We'll incorporate all of you guys. You can all join us. Now, I know it sends us over on this, but we're not too worried about that. And then we will switch all your PMs over in all these states. The newly acquired states. And then we will try and take a look if we have insufficient taxation capacity anywhere. We do in Ponsen, so we will try and solve this. And then we will take a look at the capital, which I think is West Glacia. Yeah, it is. And we will come in, and since we have a skyscraper here, and this gives plus 25% government administration building throughputs, we will up this by 10 at the back. because that throughput is super valuable. Maybe we just up it by 20. And we'll up it by 20. No, we only have a level 1 uni. We really don't need unis at this point, though, because like all the super useful tech has been researched. And so let's take a look if there are infrastructure problems in any of the newly acquired territories. There are not, but we'll put down a few thingamabiggies. A little bit of expansion on the railway front. And all this natural resource in Silesia, which has the most mineable resources total out of any state, will be very nice. Will be greatly appreciated. We'll put it in the queue, and we will go into the auto queue and make sure all of these are on auto expand here. We will also notably put opium on auto expand. We have a lot of auto expansion in rural areas because we're trying to boost economies of scale specifically, which is something we were a lot focused more. What? Why did you guys get unassigned from the fronts? I guess we're gonna quickly be getting these guys, but also something we can do is we can get more naval bases now. Which is gonna be very nice. And we conquer all the stuffs. Unfortunately, this is gonna need, yeah, we'll swap over all the PMs though. I don't think we'll incorporate them. Or at least not right now. Although I guess we have a lot. Statue of Liberty is giving us 27% migration attraction. Yay! We will, of course, build power plants here. We'll just 51 it. It'll be nice and comfortable. We'll put it on auto expand. The reason we're building that there is because they have a bonus. And we are going to need more convoys, it seems. But they get a 20% building electricity throughput bonus. So hopefully we can get on command economy right now. I suppose before the tick, we just kind of want to take a look at our national revenue. We're bringing in 3.37 million, and we've got expenses of 2.1 million. Construction is a major cost for us, although we're stockpiling gold right now, so we're not too concerned about it. I guess, are we done with all our wars? Now, what is this? Who's cutting us down to size? Nice try, France. I don't think this is going to work the way you want it to. But, we'll have a little bit of a row. Now we can return Congo and Kasai here. And we'll send all the smaller boyos over here. Or we'll send a couple smaller boyos. I think we'll keep this guy for defense. And then we'll try and land with the rest. Actually, why don't we let this guy also come over. And we'll land with 2 big boys. Now, let's take a look and recruit for Admiral. And we get command economy. So immediately, let's see the damage. So we're instantly losing money. This is okay, I suppose. Now, we are making none from dividends taxes now, but we should be making government dividends as a new one. So we are taking all the dividends, but look at our SOL just collapse. Is this just off the back of this? I guess it's not straight down. So we have given up a lot in SOL, and so now our pops aren't getting the money, we are getting the money. Okay. Dividends are multiplied by this. So I think this is just money that gets destroyed. This is my understanding. And it's based on our GDP, right? And then it's multiplied by this. So as your economy gets larger and larger, command economy gets bad. But this looks like we could actually just absolutely crank up construction if we wanted. And there's now only private construction, which means we can force build everything where we want it, which is a good thing for power level, but it is bad for quality of life. And we forgot to put in more stuff, but we'll just do this. It's not a big deal. We're not really trying to min-max anything here. Tomas. We are running the penalty, but we'll see what we can do. And then this other one, we'll send Lucian, or Lucian. And then we got the other two guys at home. Just defending. But we are just taking in a ton of revenue, and we do have more authority. And so we can decrease taxes here, of course. Although we're not generating a lot from income taxes, consumption taxes. This is not a great source of money. Almost nothing from dividends taxes. It's all coming from government dividends, which are subject to a modifier that just annihilates the money. Like, it just deletes the money. And so it seems that this is going to give you a ton of control, but you, like, what's the long-term plan here, right? Let's just do this. But, like, long-term, what are you supposed to do? Okay, so we could swap back to cooperative ownership relatively easily at this point in time. And so it might be the case that there's just a percentage, because right now we can actually just construct a whole ton if we want. We can just do this, right? We can just go boop, 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 boop. Why don't we set all of these, I'm gonna set all of, these to auto-expand, I guess. Nope, not that. Will they auto-expand correctly? I didn't even read how much it was. I don't think it matters. We could put in more consumption taxes. I don't think they're gonna... I think they're generating a lot less money than they were before, and so we would probably want to use most of our authority for edicts at this point in the game. Would be my guess. We did put stuff on auto-expand. Now, I am uncertain we can actually get this landing off. Did we... So, if you do the double landing, sometimes you get really nice, advantageous number start. So they caught 100k versus 100k, but here they caught, you know, 90k versus 35k, which is a benefit of the double landing. I think we would need like a triple landing to really get in here, though. North Germany HQ has a couple of these guys. We will long-term want to have this here, but mainly we're just kind of focused on the economy. Now, France is looking like they're not going to be able to... Oh, we will be able to enforce on them because we only have this stuff, even if we can't get the landing off. That's kind of neat. We'll swap over these PMs, even though they're kind of useless because we kind of have like all the text. Wow, we did not prioritize universities at all in this run. Holy schnapple. That's probably a mistake. But it also probably doesn't matter too much. Or it doesn't matter at all to us at this point. We will put some more stuff on auto-expand that we want to have on auto-expand. And yeah, so the metagame of like what we were focused on at this point in the game was like much different. But so here, let's see, rye farms are predicted to be how valuable? 0.26 earnings. So we're going to come in here, we're going to put this on auto-expand, and now this place will specialize in cows. And so here we have more cows, so we'll just delete the rye farms, and we'll put this on auto-expand. And so it's much better when you can get all the agriculture to be just one thing, so we'll delete all these and put this on auto-expand. And we were able to do that much better because this was before the auto queue. We're still getting mass migration events, but just look at our SOL just absolutely plummet as we are starting to extract a lot more money out from the economy. So this is a disadvantage in terms of this. We'll put this on auto expand here. We already have maxed, yeah, a lot of this agriculture that we had controlled is fully built out. We'll put this on auto expand. Again, we are trying to build up to level 51 to maximize economies of scale. And now we have a whole bunch of extra construction that we just put out. So why don't we build a whole bunch of steel and stuff. we're going to look for places that are incorporated that have, although our taxes, we're really not taxing that much, but we're just going to try and get economies of scale throughput bonus up. And right now we are going to try and focus on, you know, these new places probably a lot. And we'll put this on auto expand. Wow, steel's not even expensive. That is wild. And we will also build some boom booms somewhere. Where are the boom booms? There they are. So we will again sort by labor, and we will look and we will find the most. So Brest doesn't have quite a lot of stuff, so we'll put a bunch in Brest. And we'll put it on auto expand as well. This is quite a bit more tedious than live, what things look like. I do have these on auto expand, so they will auto expand. And so now we so what has happened now, since we've managed to pass Council Republic, is our SOL has dropped, just absolutely tanked. And we are, we're not doing that. We are bringing in a lot more of the money into the national revenue. It was like 3 point something, right? But it's being stripped from our POPs, which is collapsing standard of living. But if we take a look, what is our standard of living kind of relative to the rest of the world? And we have dipped down quite a bit, but we're, of the countries that are big, we're still up there, right? And so we can still get migration, but it is important to emphasize that money is getting deleted here. And so I think this is bad, because this money is just getting, the 0.23 that's not coming in is just getting deleted. It's getting stripped away from the POPs because it's for the government shares and all these things. It's not getting paid out to POPs, and it's just money that's lost. And so I'm not sure what the threshold is, but I imagine that, so command economy might be really good for constructing an enormous amount. Like we just upped construction to like more than 5k here, right? And we started out this episode with 1.5k construction, and it's interesting because I think that the strategy is probably oh yeah, baby, punishment time. We don't care about this at all. Ooh, we actually get a landing off. I was a little surprised about that. Let's move some guys over. We're gonna keep a couple guys in back just to make sure that we can stave off attempts on our landing us. But I mean, we're able to construct, and we can we deficit spend? What happens when we deficit spend? Well, we own the cash reserves, so the money gets paid to us? I'm not sure. We have the ownership, right? +1 government shares. Let's take a look at wage. So the bureaucrats are just getting paid out the normal wage, and there's like no actual owner. If we take a look, it's government run. It just we pay the bureaucrats, but they get paid the normal wage. They don't get paid based on the profitability. The profitability goes straight to the coffers, but it's gonna get wrecked by this point whatever modifier on government dividends. So I'm guessing we will see as we like just crank up the GDP that like kind of that number does not increase in a way that is commensurate with the GDP increase because the decreasing marginal returns. So that's 11, 21, 31, 41, 51. 21, 31, 41, 51. Prussia, West Prussia and Pomerania will need to put some in it. West Prussia, Pomerania. But you do gain full control of the queue as well, so it's going to make it a lot easier to, like, you know, force the agricultural specializations as well. I think we had that somewhat set up over there. Let's take a look over here in Dixie. Let's delete this barracks for starters. And so here, for example, we could delete these and delete these and be, yo, you just auto-expand this. Actually, everything's government owned, so we don't care about expanding, you know, this. And then we'll also, what is this, 36, 40, 41, 51. And once we get all that expanded, we will just set this to auto expand. Perfect. And so the cotton will come up nicely. We'll do some of that. We'll fix some of these up as well. In that way, so we could delete... Well, I think the maze is generally not going to be very profitable. So we'll just put this on auto expand for now. We'll put this on auto expand. Let's kind of take a look at our PMs and just try and fix things up a bit, because I saw some weird stuff, like tobacco doesn't have automatic irrigation. I guess we just have that one spot where we're building it. Interesting. I forget that we're in the middle of a war, but I guess we're crushing them, so... Yeah, we've taken what the war goal is, basically. We'll send these guys back to Poland. We want these guys mobilized, but... Back to Poland with you. And so the GDP is growing. I mean, we're constructing a lot. Let's see, we probably need to build some glass works too. Yeah, these are real profitable. So we're gonna find some place. Brandenburg. Mazovia, sure. So Brandenburg and Mazovia. We will set them on auto expand. Brandenburg's right around where? There you are. And we will add some railways to these. Yeah. It is notably a bit harder to manage everything in terms of the manual queue, which is something I think that's worth pointing out. So we do enforce on France there. We probably could have taken a lot more from them. We probably can declare them a lot more interest now. We might not start a war. I mean, we could start wars. It's just, what's the point, right? Oh, we should probably do it like this, huh? Oh, we're not going to be able to max out everywhere? Sure, that's fair. Does Russia, have we kneecapped you enough to vassalize you? No, we have a truce with you. But I think we want to mainly... So this is gone up a bit, right? As we've constructed more, it's gone up, but it's going to have decreasing marginal returns on these government dividends, which of course are going up, but they're... Why is this... Is our GDP shrunk? Our GDP is flattening. Why is that? Interesting. We'll just puppet Germany, I guess. I said we weren't going to start a war, but with a war goal like that, how can you not? I mean, we're still getting mass migration events, but yeah, our SOL is definitely down quite a bit. We did cause a bit of radicalism. Of course, we are employing people and getting it up. Sure, we'll take it. Do a promotion, yeah, of course. Promotions for everyone. Great Britain sides with Germany. Now, I'm pretty sure we can actually land Great Britain now. Let's take a look. Recruit an admiral. We don't... I want to delete the guys in the New England and Dixie HQ, actually. The naval bases. Poor New Africa. Getting fascist New Africa. This is the cursed timeline. I mean, I think we can land them. So I think we will transfer over the very best subjects, which is Canada and the British Raj. Curiously, Canada requires more infamy. I'm guessing that's because British Raj is not recognized, maybe? Or maybe this is just the most cursed timeline. We'll also transfer Cape Colony and Trucal States. Or, I think it's Trucal. Someone told me the pronunciation, I've forgotten it. I think it's Trucal. Oranhe is embargoing us. Man, how'd we not take Oranhe in this round? What happened here? Oh, Britain got Zulu? Yeah, that'll do it. Great Shing size with Germany. Well, we don't like that because we put in a bunch of war goals on the other guys, but whatever, I suppose. They will move some boyos here. We will, wreck them. We will leave, I think, this 80... Nope, he's expert. Let's see if we have guys in the HQ. We had some guys available in Brest and Posen. Posen might be Germany, but not the end of the world if we expand the military there a little bit. Yeah, this is an interesting one, because it just gives... It's giving us so much money and so much control, but is it nuking... The question is it nuking migration by an amount that is substantive? Like, look at the migration just straight... Or, well, I guess this is incorporating a lot of states, so this is actually not a very good graph. It's all very curious. We'll mobilize everyone. I wonder what the odds are they back down. Probably not very high. We will put Saxony as the primary war goal here. I mean, we're still getting mass migration events, but this world has got pretty low SOL, and so it's difficult to evaluate with like the 1.2.7 type stuff because everyone else is really far behind here relative to kind of their normal situation. Where's this guy from? We'll put him here, just a little 7-stacker. Puppeting Germany as Poland. Some sort of retribution here. Alright, we will navally land with kind of a biggish guy. Yeah, this guy seems fine. A medium-sized guy. I guess we'll go Lech or Gustav. And then a small guy, we'll do Witold. And it seems if you just triple land, you almost always get the landing. And the reason why is that too many of their troops get committed to the first 2 battles, that the third one just goes through. Same thing with their navy. And so it just seems very, very strong. We're getting some oil. The good old 60 oil kind of region over here. Oil is the future. The future is not the children, it's the oil. We'll just put in that consumption tax. And now we're starting to lose some money. So has the government dividends gone down? It is trending downward. Although this is going up, our GDP is tanking here. I think this is because we don't have consumption driving stuff as much. Right? Because we're just paying everyone the normal wage, huh? So maybe we need to do minimum wage here. Everything is subsidized, if I'm not mistaken. Or do we have to subsidize nothing? Let's take a look. This is maybe not the best place. So you can't deploy, but you're not subsidized. You have a negative weekly balance. You don't have enough iron. Are we also just getting embargoed at the ass? Having an iron shortage is definitely a thing. Why do we have such butt access here, man? We have a ton of convoys. Low shipping lane effectiveness. We have positive convoys. I guess we've just gotten too much damage to the convoys. It seems like there's not a lot. We have a lot of excess I'm not sure about this. Maybe it's bugged, I don't know. But we have one tied up with a naval battle, right? We have one landing here that's going, the small boyo is going against 63k. And we have one here where 52k is going against 62k. But now this last one, the splits have gotten much better. So they're not overcommitting troops actually here, but which is what we've noticed before, which is what I was talking about, the triple landing almost always succeeds. Although I think that one of these is getting through, right? No, maybe not that one. This one's evenly matched, but we're getting wrecked, so maybe it doesn't get through. Let's keep an eye on this. Our economy is starting to collapse as government dividends are collapsing into really low ranges. But is it just because we don't have the iron? So I guess we'll solve the iron problem, and then we'll talk about it, I guess. We'll put a couple of railways down in Saratov. Income taxes have gone down. Dividend taxes have been... What is even paying dividend taxes? Arts academies only? That must be... They must just be bugged. But our economy is going down, despite us constructing a ton of buildings. And are the buildings just not able to employ? It's also not forcing us... Let's take a quick look at the law. It should be forcing us to subsidize everything, yes? Can subsidize. It doesn't have must. So I guess they've changed this, or it's bugged. But yeah, we just have a lot of buildings that are not quite there. And we just have huge iron problems that we're now fixed, and we're getting rid of those. We're trying to import iron as well. But we did, like, triple construction this episode, right? And we didn't spend too much time making sure we were sourcing iron to deal with that. We puppeted Germany here. Nice. We will, I guess, if you don't prefer succeed, try again. We'll send in with a couple more boyos. Oh, this guy landed with a 35 stack, which is, yeah, we'll see about recruiting an admiral. Now, North Germany HQ has a guy who needs to be promoted. There we go. Why don't we just promote you a few times, my guy? Just trying to keep an eye on this. But it is not looking... It is looking... It was so promising looking initially, but what happened? Just the consumption completely fell off? Is this just a spiral thing? Where the wages, like, because the standard of living just keeps dropping. And places are not fully employed, right? Like, here is not anywhere near fully employed. Because we have really low demand for these consumer goods. Okay, well now we see this coming back, cranking back up. Yeah. And so government dividends are coming back up. Okay. And I guess that's when a bunch of iron mines finish. So was the iron... But the thing is I think it's just construction driving the economy, basically, at the end here. Like, that's at the end of the line. We're just not going to fire any guy because we don't want to use our brains here. And we will see our theory a little bit more now. This guy gets stuck in on 250k, so as soon as this naval invasion succeeds, since this battle's in here against 260k with this 50k stack, these other guys just get in for free. Yeah, it's still a bit of a problem because like the 260 stacks should be able to recalculate and reassign, but instead we get this situation, right? Where now they're going to get absolutely demolished here. Now we do have a little bit of a landing attempt on us, but you know, 304 defense, this is why we're leaving some guys at home. It's not going to work. Yeah, and they just get wrecked now. Yeah, now we're making these government dividends have come back up. Your income basically like tracks perfectly with your GDP, I guess, which makes sense because the government owns everything, right? But I feel like we should be popping off more than we are. So why can't you, well, we'll figure you out in a second. I mean, I think that there's a huge, yeah. But let's take another look at this. So government dividends is, they're coming back up. GDP is coming back up. I wish you could zoom. GDP is going up to 600 mil. The problem is going to be this effect, right? We'll switch all these to steel, arc frame. The problem is going to be this effect here, which is that, oh, not this. Got to hover the different spot. I think it's the exact same number, though, is my understanding here. Where it's multiplied by 0.76. So when we had the 500,000 GDP, it was multiplied by 0.8, but this money just gets deleted. So especially as you start getting like closer to 1 bill, now as we transfer all these guys, our GDP goes up and instantly more money is being deleted. More and more and more money is being deleted as it becomes increasingly inefficient. And we don't have any war goals in on them, so let's see if we can white piece our way out of here. They want to liberate Prussia. Well, that's not going to happen, so I guess we got to land them. We're just going to do another triple landing, though, here. We're going to assign guys who are kind of the correct size so we don't suffer too much penalty from the landing malice for landing a way bigger guy. We'll just send those 3 in. They should be able to enforce on them there. Is that fascist America? Good old fascist America after fascist New Africa. Job creators is activated. How are the industrialists still even remotely powerful? That's a bit of an interesting one to me. But this guy's a radical... Man, I guess on a temporary basis, it's decent. Because look how much money we're getting. We could easily expand construction more. Right? We get dough rollers. We're going to put it in. A lot of the labor-saving PMs are not as effective as they were when we started and had 24 SOL, and now we have 18 SOL. So the SOL has dipped a ton, but we're at a phase in the game where we don't care too much about SOL, except for the migration factor. Well, actually, we care because we have a lot of buildings that are just now not able to fully employ. There's not enough consumption in our economy. Look at this. I guess it's kind of always been low, but really cheap consumer goods are kind of helping stuff. Let's take a look here. They're not paying a ton in taxes. We do have taxes as minimized as possible. They are going for the really expensive tea. This class is getting deleted as it stands. Our people only want one thing, and it's fucking tea. Let's take a look at Kasai. I think that Kasai doesn't have a specialization. It does on the dyes, but the tea makes more. I mean, we could delete the dye workshops and build it up to only tea. This place is kind of specializing in tea, so what we will do here is we will delete a bunch of these. We'll delete everything that's not tea, and we'll build up all the tea. It's bugged. It's letting us build 100. It's actually not gonna do that, but... Now wait, why are... Okay, we need to up construction. Or we upped construction a ton. Now the economy is really taking off, now that we have all that... steel. Why don't we also... do some of this? And did they get fixed as well? Okay, so we're at max construction, and it's just very volatile looking. Because now our economy is popping off, right? And we have 6K construction, which I'm not sure we could support. And we're siphoning off more money from the pops relative to Council Republic. Like, this is Council Republic. This is what we're at now. And the government dividends, though, are being multiplied by an increasingly bad modifier. So now it's 0.71, right? And there's going to be a trade-off point where you would just rather be getting more migration rather than having all the more money like put into your pockets directly. Because this is the thing, the government owns all the buildings. Government owns all the buildings, but I'm noticing a lot of these buildings aren't very profitable because the just overall decrease, like look at this. It's like, it's nah. So why don't we swap back to Council Republic now and see how things go. So we're at 7.5, although we're expecting it to grow. We have a ton of money, and we could expand construction more. And so this, it seems like it's good for ramping up construction. But let's swap back to co-op ownership and see how things look when the instant we swap back. You know. Like also just like we can't build profitable industries very well because they're just, yeah. I guess we'll get this up to 51 though. Yeah, just look. The only stuff that's profitable is the stuff that we're using for construction, basically. Like the construction goods, but the consumer goods are no longer very profitable. Tools are okay. Tools are kind of always okay. We'll put East Prussia on auto expand on the tools. It's also harder to keep up with like a 6K queue, but that's kind of like a separate issue, right? And they have significant infrastructure problems over here. I guess? Maybe not. Okay. Just weird. I assume they're going to want to give this up soon. Great Shing. And our economy's probably actually going to slow down when, you know, we demobilize the troops. But now it's like straight vertical. So this is, but I think it's entirely driven by our construction center now. Because the consumption is like not driving stuff very well, but our construction is. And so as construction falls off, right as we exhaust the natural resources, this is going to get worse. Also, we do have to manual whack-a-mole this, but we're up at 800 million GDP. This is very vertical off the back of the iron getting cheaper. Or like that's kind of the intervention we made. Let's take a look down at infrastructure down here. We, of course, just got to play a lot of whack-a-mole. I mean, I guess we're doing okay. We do have the infrastructure on auto expand. Maybe this is a mistake. We're enacting co-op ownership. They have too much infrastructure down there, but I don't think I can be bothered to try and manually. Okay, so we swatched to cooperative ownership. Now is the economy just going to collapse? And what's going to happen to SOL? Let's not add a consumption tax or remove a consumption tax. Let's just stick on what we got. And let's watch SOL and watch GDP. Now, of course, we're losing money, but this is because we're injecting money into the population, and notably, we don't have the government dividends anymore. Or I guess we do from the trade center. But see, they're multiplied by like this. Ooh, this modifier is smaller. Oh, no, wait, no. So this modifier was starting to get pretty big. And so is the GDP continuing to increase? Because we have a lot of construction. It looks like it is. And this number's kind of becoming not as problematic for us. Auto queue is starting to pick up some stuff, but this is kind of whatever. We'll actually stay at war because we started this at war, but now this is starting up, so we're gonna get a bunch of cheap migration, right? And the equilibrium here is starting to recover, but for that brief well, actually no, because we don't have the construction queue filled out. Let's fill out the construction queue and then talk, or then look. Of course, there's like infinite variables, right? Or not infinite, but there's a lot of variables. But now the construction queue is filled. Okay, we're losing a little bit of money, but the money's getting injected in the population, which is why we're popping off here, which is driving consumption. So now all the consumption factories ought to be doing better. They ought to be employing, like, these ought to be employing up, and the increased employment ought to be good. They get a little bit of a revolt here. I guess we'll annex Ukraine here. Mainly just so we're at war, and we'll mobilize everyone. Mainly just so we can stay at war here. I don't know how we get guys to the other side, but okay. Yeah, sorry Ukraine. We just need this for testing purposes. And of course, dividends taxes come up from nothing. Government dividends go to basically nothing. This is climbing. Our economy is still popping off here. It just, the difference is we're deficit spending instead of getting the money injected directly into the economy. But like, I think we're growing faster, like a lot faster. And the SOL is higher, so we should be able to like depress the wages. So one of the things is like wages came down. Like these are just a lot more well employed. Well, in some spots. I guess we should have looked at employment and unemployed. So right now there's 34 million gainfully employed and 4.7 unemployed. So we'll see how that number changes kind of in the nearest future. We're gonna try and keep the construction queue maxed out, but that is a bit of a problem. So let's come in and maybe try and, oh, look at how profitable these are now. So we're gonna 51 it here. Pomerania, Mazovia, Celestia. Pomerania. Forgot the other one. It's probably not too important. We'll just put down kind of a few. So we're losing money, but man oh man is popping off here. It's important that we keep the construction queue filled as well, because a big part of the stimulation to the economy, the demand that's in our economy, which is kind of a bit of a closed circuit because we're not trading a lot, is the demand for construction goods. And so we got to keep things rolling. So we're losing a little bit of money still. We don't have as much control. The line is like straight up. A big part of this is that we were able to increase construction by quite a lot. But I think we would have been able to increase construction anyways. And it's not like deficit spending is terrible, because deficit spending will further juice the SOL of all of our lower standard pops under Ukraine backs down. Okay, well this adds a whole nother variable actually. Okay, I mean, I guess we'll integrate all the land. Or we'll integrate this land. And we'll reset the PMs here. So now we have now we have another variable we just added. Great. Okay. We'll just add a few of these at the front. Insufficient tax capacity anywhere. Got it in a few places. We'll just add 10 to all the ones. Obviously there's like so many variables to handle, but like I think the fact that money is not getting deleted is really substantive. And we were starting to see a little bit of a slowdown, but not a tremendous slowdown, as, you know, the government dividends started to be multiplied by an increasingly big malice modifier. But that is like a really straight up line. Of course we are like incorporating stuff, people and stuff. So there's that. I can't tell if this is going up faster than when we were on command economy. I can tell this is bigger, so we're going to attract more migrants. I think we're getting more unemployed, but this unemployed, we have the variable of having just integrated Ukraine, so we still have like the same number of gainfully employed, and we just gained unemployed plops basically. And a ton of peasants. We do hit 1 billion. Guess we should have declared war to like open someone's market. That wouldn't have been a very good war to declare. Was this radicalism? Oh, that was off of taking over this. So, I mean, it does seem that we can push loyalist bonuses better under Council Republic, which is going to be a lagging effect that's incredibly like positive, like having this bonus, and somehow the industrialists are not demarginalized. I mean, the capitalist investment pool contribution doesn't matter. I guess the production tech doesn't matter anymore either. So we'd rather they be marginalized. We'd rather that these people be powerful, but they're not. Do need more farms for all that. AutoQ is actually cranking up a ton of stuff. The investment pool transfer is not that big, but you're expecting it to not be very big under this system. I mean, we're taking in a lot less money. Like, we were taking in like 8 mil, but the fact that we're taking it in is not necessarily like what you want. We of course do not have full construction anymore. We're going to, what was it, 34, 44, 49. Just max out economies of scale bonus there, and then we'll set them both to auto expand. Here, I think we will want to delete one of these. I guess we're going to delete this and auto expand this, because you can only support one super high one here. Here we can support 2. And I guess the rest we'll just put in here. I think we want these to be cotton. Solving the rural goods problems one step at a time. We can have both of these up at 51, so put both at auto expand. Add a couple railways at the front. Yeah, we're gonna make this cotton. Which, of course, we've deleted some industries just now, which, like, has a negative effect. Sigmund fucking Freud retires. Tragic. We had him. He's gone. Now we got this idiot. Okay. So, I mean, I think that the injection... So, we have two things going on here, right? We have the injection into the economy from Council Republic that is good and is, we'll just let him fight. The injection into the economy, which is good. And then also we have the fact that if there was no negative malice, if there was no negative modifier, So this investment pool modifier, right, this 0.62 modifier was what was being applied to the government dividends, which was pretty bad because the money just gets erased. And so it seems to be the case that this modifier is going to increase more and more and more. And so it's going to apply to investment pool transfer, right? And it's going to apply to government dividends. And so as the game gets longer and your GDP gets bigger, you get investment pool transfer and government dividends both get weaker. And the one eco type that pays out the least for investment pool transfer and also does not have government shares is cooperative ownership. So just as the longer the game goes on as a result of this modifier, the more that cooperative ownership is going to be the best PM. Or not PM, it's ecosystem. Right, because laissez-faire is going to fall off because you are getting this negative modifier to the investment pool transfer. And instead, the money's getting injected into the people, which is driving up consumption and is helping you to have, like, more profitable buildings. Although the consumption being driven up is less... it's more important in a closed-circuit system, so if we were to switch to isolationism, it'd be even more important or better, although we're not going to switch to isolationism. I think we do have all the construction centers on the best thing. And so... It's interesting. I mean, I was thinking we would be hemorrhaging more money faster here, but we're making a decent amount. But there's no money getting erased. So we were making like 3 million more with command economy, but money was getting erased, you know? Whereas here, the 3 million that we were making extra is instead getting injected into the POPs, which is why the SOL gets to come up. And also, on top of that, we were making like 5 million in government taxes, and we weren't making the dividend taxes here, so that's where like the 3 million came from. But we also, like, the government taxes were not subjected to the penalty, right? And so or they were subjected to the penalty, so just like 2 to 3 million was getting erased from the economy, which is now no longer getting erased. And of course, like, if we want to take in more money, we can here, right? This affects greatly income tax and dividends tax, which is not something we had a lot of anyways with the command economy, because there's no dividends taxes to make. So if we wanted to just, you know, make more, we can just up this. So we're having like dividends taxes here, right? And so if we just... I guess we gotta let it think. The 2.3 million. Also, my understanding is when you increase taxes, this comes down. But let's take a look. Yeah, so now it's 3.9, right? Just off the back of us increasing that. Investment pool transfers holding steady, though. But the thing is decreased consumption is going to drive this down as buildings become less profitable from the decreased construction, because we're extracting more wealth from the economy. Let's try and make sure our queue stays filled. I'll put this on auto expand. I guess that didn't fill up very much at all. Okay, so the investment pool transfer dips a little bit when we increase taxes. It's not a lot though. Let's decrease them back down. And instantly the investment pool comes back up. Wait, what is this? Oh, this is national revenue net. I'm not looking at just the investment pool. I would like to look at just the investment pool. But we saw the investment pool dip by, what is that, maybe 5%? I mean, I'm just trying to understand this, which perhaps doesn't make for the best content. Dividends taxes have not come down all that much, but they should be. Or maybe the tooltip's not caught up yet. And, I mean, we're still cranking up. We definitely want to get all the railroads on the right thing. Also, it's now huge that you can subsidize stuff under workers' co-ops, which you did not used to be able to do. Okay, so the dividends taxes has come back down. The investment pool transfer has gone up. Because so what should happen is the pops pay out the dividends and then they get taxed, and then after they get taxed they buy their consumption goods. But what I suspect might be happening is that they might pay out the investment pool transfer. Let's pause. They might pay out the... What I think is happening is, or potentially happening, and I need to test a lot more, is they might be paying out the investment pool transfer first. And notably, the pops that are contributing to the investment pool are... like shopkeepers and farmers, right? So they only contribute 5%. And we noticed when we had dipped, or when we increased taxes, that our investment pool had dipped by like 5-ish%. But it's also decreasing consumption, right? So it's also going to make all the buildings less profitable, because when we do this, all the guys are going to be paying. So if you see here, now they're paying 15% taxes. If we unpause, they will be paying a whole lot more. Right? Yeah, now they're paying like double the taxes, which is going to decrease, yeah, consumption, because they, it's a pie, right? This has to add, well, it has to fix a little bit, but it has to get up to 100%. So let's put this here. Otherwise, it drives their SOL down. So if this combined number is less than 100%, the SOL will climb, and if it's more than 100%, the SOL drops. And what I think is happening, or what I suspect might be happening, is the way it's calculated is it's all calculated simultaneously, or it's calculated in the wrong order between paying out dividends, paying taxes, and consumption. And if it's calculated simultaneously, or if dividends are not calculated first, the dividend payout rate, then increasing taxes will decrease what you're paying out to the investment pool. We could do this again, right? And let's crank up the taxes again. And just watch. So the number was 6.3 something K. And notice how it's changing volatilely as we fiddle with these taxes. Is it going to come down further than 6.2K? Or 62K? Another problem is we have this confounding variable about, like, decreased demand for, like, construction goods, right? Which, like, the real problem is it's really hard to remove all the variables. So it's dropping. I'm looking at the investment pool transfer here. And it's dropped 2.5K after we've increased taxes. But of course, it is decreasing the consumption overall as well. So there's two things going on whenever we increase taxes. But yeah, increasing taxes, going to affect the investment pool transfer, but it's not always abundantly clear exactly what mechanisms it's affecting. I know before the way it worked is it had a much larger effect. So I think before it did calculate all of it together, and now my understanding that I'm not hyper sure in, and it's continuing to drop here, my understanding that I'm not hyper sure in is whether or not it's doing dividends first and then subsequently taxes and consumption simultaneously. Let's decrease this. And so this has actually just been steadily decreasing. Of course, we're not maintaining this, so like there's multiple things. But now let's see if it comes back up to 63K. And we'll put in railways, I guess. I don't know. Power plants are super profitable. Let's build some. I mean, we're mainly just trying to fill out the queue. So it's already coming back up. From 57, which is notably like a 10% decrease in dividends. Is gonna recover to like the 6.3-ish it was at before. Also not watching. Yep, it did recover. So I gotta take a closer look at that when it's capitalist. The effect should be a lot larger when it's capitalists. Or, I mean, it should be proportionate, right? It's going to be a percentage. And now it's 66. But there's always a trade-off when you're taking money out from your economy. When you increase taxes, like, it has cascading effects that are, like, difficult to pin down on exactly what's going on. But generally speaking, like, you want to decrease taxes the later and later the game goes. But yeah, I think I'm going to conclude this episode. It has just been kind of a little bit of a dive and an experimentation with Command Economy. Overall, it seems bad because money is just getting deleted. And you can inject money into your pops otherwise. Of course, I guess we're not recovering to that 24 SOL that we had at the very start of the episode. But I think that that's... I think there's other factors involved here, but it definitely recovered from being like 17 back to 21 or 22-ish. And so this is kind of important. Like, yeah, I just think that the money getting deleted, maybe if you're at like, if you're below 500 million GDP, Command Economy is good just for rapidly ramping up construction. But the problem is by the time you can enact Command Economy, you probably should have 500 million GDP. And then after that, it very quickly becomes... I think it starts to fall off pretty quickly, as we were seeing, going from 0.8 modifier to 0.6 modifier on the government dividends. Because it's the 0.2 and the 0.4 respectively are just money that's getting erased from the economy. They aren't getting injected back into your pops. And I think that this inefficiency is why Council Republic's going to be better, and also why cooperative ownership is going to be better, and why cooperative ownership in the long term in any game is going to be the best PM. Outside of like the diplomatic factors, why laissez-faire might be better, because laissez-faire is the investment pool will get increasingly nuked as you approach like this bigger and bigger number. Let's actually take a look at the modifier currently at 1.1 billion. So if we hover over this and we hover over this. This number should also just generally be going down as the economy is going up, but it's multiplied by 0.59. And so, like, once we get to 2 billion, it's going to be, like, really, really small, this sort of thing. Let's see if I can pause and load a game that I know we have an enormous economy. Okay, here we have a China run. at the time I had saved this, the GDP was 25 billion, but they've changed how it's been calculated, so it's interesting to see it's 9.4 now. If we take a look and we look at the investment pool, and we look at the number, it's 0.3 now. And so it would be definitely better to go to Council Republic because this investment pool is like kind of going into a bit of a nothing burger zone. If you look at the national revenue, it's 37 million and the investment pool transfer is only a lowly 2 million. Now it would be like 6 million, which would be a lot stronger if we were higher up. I'm afraid to unpause this game. Also, I remember having 69k construction, so what happened? Maybe, give me one moment. I think there's another save. Let's find it. Alright, here we have 11 billion GDP and 50k construction. Now, we could set ourselves on auto queue. We have an investment pool of 2.3 billion, and I'm thinking I'm going to end this episode with likely crashing everything. So it looks like 0.3 is the floor. Because this GDP is 2 million higher, or 2 billion higher than the previous one. So I guess 0.3 is just the floor. It can't get less efficient than this. So that's good to know. And let's see if we can crash the game. So let's go switch country. And we'll go into game rules. And oop, we do have autonomous investment pool. So I'm guessing as soon as we unpause, it will put like 2 billion worth of GDP into stuff into the queue and crash the game. And so this is going to be... Oh, we get some lag. Let's see the auto queue. Can you put something in there? Really high SOL. Look at this, baby. 28. Ooh, hot. Alright, interpretation of James. We're gonna get a Freud. We're gonna get a cocaine addict. Now, we are paused because we're about to hit the Monday afterwards. Oh my god, everything's so laggy. This, of course, is off of 1.2. That doesn't look like a Freud. He is charismatic political operator. Okay, man, look at this lag. Alright, we're about to hit Monday morning. Are you gonna put stuff into the queue? Oop, the Monday morning lag. Oh, and look at that. Only a mild 3.6. Oh, this is put in the auto queue. Okay, let's see if we can... We're gonna actually get it up to speed and see if stuff can put that in, because all those livestock ranches were not the automated queue, but it looks like the automated queue is starting to put stuff in. It's starting to pay for stuff. It's got 2 billion with which to pay for stuff, so this should just crank up until the game crashes. Now, it was before, when we looked at this, when we had this save before, it was 69,000 construction, but now it's 51,000 for whatever reason. The game should... we stopped the China run because we couldn't fill the 69,000 construction queue. And I just got too frustrated trying to fill it, and the game would crash. But it'll be interesting to see if the game will not crash now. I guess it can only fill half. What do we have? We have interventionalism. So we could go laissez-faire, but it can only go up to 25k. So maybe it won't fill everything out. We have an investment pool of 2 billion. Everything's really laggy. Looks like this is... Oh, look, it cut in half just because the way it calculated changed. Because it used to be like 25 billion. So that's what I was trying to talk about with that. Little Monday morning lag. I think we can get the game to crash. I mean... I can help it along. We have so many fucking buildings. Of course, people need more clothes. think we've completely exhausted all the natural resources. Now the construction queue is not going up. Of course, we're going to need some tools too, so why don't we do some of that? I can't believe we were on interventionalism before in this run. That's so freaking wild. I think actually we swapped back to interventionalism. So we're at close to 20k. Let's see what you can do. Let's zoom in. Boom! Okay, maybe not. I mean, I can't move anything. So maybe. Alright. The good old, this is the lag zone here. I mean, they've optimized performance a little bit. Maybe you actually can. Why do we have a rev coming? I mean, we don't care about this run. I guess we're not going to crash it. Well, let's just fill the construction queue and see if it crashes. Just fill it entirely. Because we did get it up to 20k pretty quick. And we don't really care what we're building where. Because we're just going to... This is just going to end what we're looking at here. Pretty sure there are no natural resources available. Also, like, ooh, there's a little bit of oil. And one rubber. Also, notably, these still probably have the, they do not have the nerfed arable land. So they have the old patch arable land. Instead. Oh, these are profitable. Let's go, baby. I guess I should have started just with this. Can we go to 50k construction here? Oh, maybe. I'll put those on auto expand as well. I'm sure Monday lag, Monday morning. I can handle the 35k. If you can't handle me at my 35k, then you don't deserve me at my 69,000. So maybe we could have gotten up to the 69,000 filled up, because it's looking like... Wait, where's... Okay. $30 million deficit. Let's go, baby. I think we had like several billion in gold reserves, so like it doesn't do anything to us, really. Well, the game's not crashing. And we filled out the queue. We are on arc welding. The investment pool is in fact still growing. How much are we paying for construction goods? Why is the investment pool transfer only this much? It should be so much more. Whatever. The temporary investment, we're paying 31 million on this. And we have an investment pool just stored up of some what was it, 2 point whatever billion? 2.3 billion. So we can take quite a few months of this. What is it? 3 months for 100 million? So like 30, we could do this for several years, but obviously we don't want to because this is super laggy and wild. Also got a bunch of stuff going on. We'll wait for one more Monday morning tick, but it doesn't look like, it looks like this is just going to be kind of whatever. But yeah, wow, is it lagging my OBS? It might be. Alright, one Monday morning tick, and then we'll pause and talk. Actually, we'll just do the outro. Alright, so this episode was, I mean, it was mostly a Poland-Lithuania episode. We did take a quick look at, you know, this run, because we do have the enormous 12 bill GDP, which was 25 bill at the time, but it just got cut because of the way it was calculated was changed. And so, just taking a look at Council Republic, it seems like it's going to be extremely good when you have really, really low, like, when you're trying to ramp up construction as much as possible, just having a whole bunch of control seems really good. But I think that the money getting erased is a problem, right? Because here, money's getting erased. 70% of the investment pool is getting erased. So, like, the reinvestment that we have, right now it's 2.8 million. It would be like 9 million if it wasn't for this malice, or it would be like 10 million if it wasn't for this malice. And so this makes Council Republic like the best super late game, but and it also is going to affect command economy, which is going to have like the same like negative thing. And so if this money is just going to get erased, this like 70%, you might as well just reinvest it in the pops, right? And go Council Republic slash oh, we can't go it right now. And we are Council Republic? Why do we have such an investment? Why do we have such a big investment pool transfer? Is that from freaking the peasants? What? Oh, stuff is privately owned still? Okay, well it's buggy because it's from 1.1.2. Council Republic was the best late game. Wow, so that's with Council Republic. What did Council Republic do back then? Because I think we got to take a quick look. Oh, this is the new Council Republic that it's reading to us? Because it should switch everything up onto workers' co-ops, but it's not. It's just acting like interventionalism. I think the interventionalism here is overriding it. And it's making us interventionalist. And that there's no Council Republic thing. Anyways, the point being, the Council Republic Workers Co-op seems the very best late game, because if the money is going to get erased, command economy is in particular the worst when the money's getting erased, because all the money gets erased. All the dividends profits. And, you know, laissez-faire seems not as bad because it's a smaller percentage that's getting erased of like the overall economy, and then you just like one Council Republic. And so super late game, it seems like this is the way. This is the way. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed. This has been really long. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and have a good one.